When people talk to me, they often will be thanking me for what I've done, um, in regards to the chem dog and, even now with the sour. I don't want that to be my legacy. Like when I think about like the things that I've done, the things that I'm proudest of, like the whole driving the chem dog across the country, that was just like, I'm like a part of the story, but it's not significant of an accomplishment to consider it a legacy. I mean, don't get me wrong, driving a plant across country, there was always some fucking shady states where you were worried, but and with no way of avoiding it. But you know, that I don't want that to be my legacy. And then I started thinking about like now that I've released this new sour and it's having a bunch of success, I don't want this to be my legacy. I don't want people to be thanking me for this because this is my legacy, this new sour cut. Because it's not my cut. It's just a cut that I acquired, and like calling it the Gaby was just a big joke. And I don't know who this guy is, Piff Coast Farms on Instagram. He made a post about how anybody that puts their name on a strain is a clown. And I was like, yeah, I'm a clown. And I was
It was
clowning.
supposed to be a joke.
Exactly. I was just clowning. And, all this happened. But anyway, I don't want the sour to be my legacy because
I mean, the joke would have been, it would have hit just as well if you had called it, the asshole Joe cut. But, for anybody that needs a little reference as to what that means, go back and watch some of the earlier episodes, especially the one with your,
the
what's his name?
weasel.
The Weasel. You'll find out a little bit more about who asshole Joe is. I mean, if you put the two letters together, maybe you can figure it out as well. But, it's a joke, right? Like you don't name something after yourself because you're like, oh my god, look at me, I'm so fucking fancy. You do it because you're joking about it, especially in the context that it was presented, which is really funny.
Yeah. So I'm getting older. And so when I think about, what do I want my legacy to be? I've always been really proud of the Garden Spout, my grow shop, because it was a successful business like overnight. And that's an accomplishment right away. And we taught so many people how to grow, and I've said before that I'm proud of how I taught OG growers that had been growing in the hills for years how to grow indoors. In the 80s, the enforcement camp was really rough and they were just like busting people for growing outdoors. So people were chased inside and these people that had grown forever wanted to grow indoors. And, I remember them saying, well, I dug up my soil from my yard and put it in a pot and I put these plants in it under those lights you sold me and they just died. Like that type of stuff was like every single day. They knew about plants, but they knew about growing plants outside. Yeah, so I'm so proud of that, and now I'm really proud of what I'm doing with you and the Craft Growers Network. I feel like we're providing entertaining content as well as educational content. And I'm not going to speak so much about how educational it is when I speak. But if you guys check out the Way We Grow podcast, which I have absolutely nothing to do with, I think I've been a guest on it and a guest host a couple of times, but this is Nick's show. It's so educational listening to like the way all these people grow, the way we grow, and so the other day I was at a grow shop and somebody I did not know came up to me and said, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, listen, excuse me. I, don't want to interrupt you, but I just wanted you to know how much I love your podcast. And that like, hit me like the first time somebody smoked my herb and told me it was good. Like, it was like validation because it was beyond the text messages and even people that I've communicated with, like, because people say it to me all the time after I'm talking to them and stuff. But like when somebody you don't know walks up to you and says that, I don't want to say like it was like a movie star moment, but it was like, it really made me feel good. It made me feel proud. And I'm like, if this is my legacy, that's fucking awesome.
Yes.
And I want to say thank you for making me feel like we're doing something awesome here.
Yeah. And yeah,
Like
thanks to
that's
all the
so.
listeners. It's extremely important. You are all the reason why we keep doing this. And
And then I wanted to add, I'm really excited and proud of this opportunity that I have that's growing with the Mothership Labs and, with Jesse. And I feel like, you know, I'm learning tissue culture techniques and we are going to teach people how to do tissue culture. And we're going to offer all sorts of services from preservation and dissection. And so, yeah, so these are things that I feel like I can be proud of and are my legacy. And, you know, the whole sour diesel thing, it's a fucking joke, and like anybody that thinks it's anything more than that, I'm like trying to make something out of it doesn't, just didn't get it,
yeah.
so
No, I think
anyway, that's what I wanted to say on that
yeah, that's
subject.
the touchy end to our first live ever. So yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up then. All the community that's here with us today, thank you guys for joining us, and your questions are appreciated, and your support of this channel is appreciated. We should have more opportunities for you to support this channel in the near future with we've announced it before, but we'll say it again. Gabby and I are working on a breeding project. And then there's going to be more integration into Gabby's website with his clones, and the seeds that we're making for that. And so there's going to be other ways that you can help support this channel.